All right. Well, hi. So today, I guess I wanted to talk about something that seems to trouble me in a way. My wife actually gave me this idea of philosophizing about your own work. But before we get into it, check out my website. There's some prints available. If you want to support this channel, go check it out. Thanks. Anyway, let's get into it. So, philosophizing about your own works and figuring out why you do what you do. I feel like, in a way, it's not necessarily needed. I guess it can push you forward in the sense of, if you realize what you're doing, it can limit yourself, which is a good thing sometimes, because then you have a direction to move. Otherwise, you're running it. Or I could be running into the risk of feeling lost, right? Because there are like limitless possibilities of what to do, and so realizing what you're doing and where you're at can be a very strong realization that sparks interest and helps you moving forward. And I guess why am I painting figures at the moment? Because I'm not necessarily looking at myself as the painting. I'm not necessarily looking at that is me and I'm painting myself. I'm more looking at it's a person, right? I'm looking at a figure. It doesn't really have a personality. It's about the interaction between the gesture, the motive's gesture, and the viewer, and the colors, because yeah, I like colors. So it's about the interaction between the viewer for me and the gestural movement. And there was always something that interested me about figurative painting or portraits, and not in a sense of a daily scene, but just the raw, I guess, let's go with scientific, biological presence of the body. There's always something that intrigued me about this idea, or this perspective. And I guess I'm doing that. I'm not necessarily painting daily life, not necessarily portraying the human form in a shape of the daily life, because of the backgrounds that I'm just not interested in, so I always remove them, more or less. I mean, I have done the daily life kind of feeling before, but yeah, that's those paintings are quite a while back. I realized at this point that the body is going quite reddish, and it was too strongly connected with the t-shirt for me. So I wanted to break apart. Break apart from that. And I chose a bluish skin tone then, and I used an indigo and an ochre to mix those colors. When I began, I thought of a yellow as a background, because I liked the yellow in the previous painting. So I wanted to go with a yellow again. that eventually turns out not to be the case, or a little bit, I guess. But yeah, you'll see. So why am I painting these torsos? Actually, I feel like it's mostly, I'm not too interested in hands. I'm not too interested in the lower body and feet or legs. Definitely not interested in genitals or whatnot. And I think for me it's actually quite easy. And talking about this makes me feel, I don't know, so simple. While I look at these paintings and I don't necessarily feel that simplicity, because I think I'm painting torsos just because of how I feel with myself. Just the feeling of having a body, and I mean all of what comes with it, the pain, all the negative body feelings, the pain, the stress, the achings, or the positive feelings, the joy, or the relaxation, just being somewhere and being happy with it, feeling happy. Now that summer is coming to an end, I actually feel this sense of my earlier self. I don't know, when I used to be in school. The weather is just reminding me of vacation, even though of course I don't have vacation, like summer vacation anymore. But there's something about this when the summer fades and the heat stops being so aggressive, that I feel like those are usually the times when I'm thinking to myself, man, it's so nice. It's so nice. And I'm wondering, because it always reminds me of those really good times where you're just grateful for being where you are. And I think I had a talk about this the other day, because I think it's because when the summer is super hot, you're just not in the right mindset. But then when it gets a little bit colder and there's a little bit of wind going on, I don't know, it just reminds me of being outside and being with friends and not having anything on your mind that troubles you. Because I do have some troubles with my stomach, I guess. And I think that's as well a part why I paint figures like this, why I like torsos. And it always is something that is always in the back of my head. Or yeah, always. So it doesn't really let me relax when I'm outside with friends, or when I'm doing something that is supposed to be fun for me, because it's always stressful for me because of the fear. I guess I'm just traumatized by now. But yeah, I think everybody has their little aches. And so yeah, here I'm defining the hands. I wanted to make sure that they're not over-defined. I didn't want them to be a focal point. Focal point, is that a word? I don't know, I didn't want it to be very present in the painting. I didn't want the viewer to be distracted by their hands. Because even though I guess I like the shape of hands, they don't really interest me that much. And I definitely wanted to try something out with the t-shirt of having the negative space of the shirt being connected to the background. So I decided for the right side of the painting, I actually wanted to have this yellow to play with the contrast of the magenta. And on the left side, I added one of these white shapes with a thick layer of paint. And those are just the finishing touches. So yeah, to round things out, I think I'm painting figures because I want to. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like videos like this, maybe you like this video. Have a good one. Bye.